All right, well, thank you very much. First of all, one thing I learned being a professor is that professors usually like to talk a lot, and then they give you the punchline at the end. But I'm going to give you the punchline at the beginning, the important thing. In this title, Infrastructure Builds Community, the intent here is to say that if you are designing something, you need to think about the community that goes with the infrastructure, whether it's for water management or for the houses or whatever. And if you build it right, then the community that lives there, the people that live in the community, have an opportunity to improve that infrastructure. Now I'd like to say first that Brad has had a large role in helping us develop this Highland Vista neighborhood, which is in Midtown Tucson. It's right near the Target on Broadway. And but I'd say there are two corollaries that go with this. The community must recognize the need for conservation improvement and the improvement of the environment. And also, governments must be attuned to fostering community actions. So with that, now if you want to take a break now, that's going to be the punchline. I'm going to get to that point in a few minutes, but let me go on here. The Highland Vista Neighborhood and Park is located in central Tucson, as it says here, bounded by Broadway, Craycroft, 5th Street, and Rosemont. And it was initially developed in the mid-50s. There was especially an emphasis on using adobe brick, and there's a neighborhood park that went with the development on the north bank of the Arcadia Wash. And this is what the area, the watershed looks like. And let me see if this little pointer is not great, but it's better than not having it. This is the neighborhood here that we're talking about. This is the watershed boundary. And the water that runs off comes down, eventually makes it into the Arcadia Wash here. And this is the park that was developed by the developer here, and it includes a swimming pool area and then a playing athletic field and some picnic benches and so on. This is what it looked like before development. In 1941, that little blue area is the eventual park footprint, and you can see highlighted in the wash is highlighted in blue Arcadia Wash. And this is what it looks like today. And the arrow is pointing to the park area with the swimming pool area above it, and the Arcadia Wash is still there. Let me point out that one of the problems of this area is that there's a line that brings the water into the wash from across the Craycroft in a big pipeline and tunnel, and where it distributes the water near our neighborhood, there's a pond that forms that is a mosquito source of mosquitoes. Also down further, the Williams Center, which is across the street, has a drainage pipe that brings the water down and dumps it in here. And even when we get very little runoff in our area, that is often flooded and is also another source of mosquitoes. And within our area of development, there's some low areas on the west side of the park area that also get mosquitoes. So that's one of the, not the major things, but one of the things we're interested in looking at in the neighborhood. So if you look at the list on the right, or the left in green, this is the initial infrastructure that the developer, who was Lusk, developed in the 50s. There was a community park, swimming pool, playground, picnic tables, athletic field, and there was an office for the 2030 Club, which is a club that supports youth programs. The community is made up of 346 neighborhoods. Each household is a stakeholder in the neighborhood pool. There's a swim team, a youth soccer team, and there's often community gatherings. This weekend we're going to have a rummage sale, and a potluck celebration on Memorial Day that will invite everybody in the neighborhood to come to. And this helps promote us getting together, talking about things, and the ways that we can improve the community. The things that have already been added, and this I would put in the category of the community improves the infrastructure. There's a straight shade structure over the playground, a walking path. The initial harvesting of street water for native plant Oasis, which Brad was a major consultant in this. There's a little free library, which is almost free to do. It's just a small, simple box, and people put in books, and people can take out books. And since it's free, we feel there isn't any need to worry about stealing. There's a neighborhood watch program to try to keep safety in the neighborhood. Adopt a wash program on Arcadia Wash for where we go and clean the wash periodically to keep it clean. It's part of the Tucson Clean and Beautiful program. And we have proposed broadening of our water harvesting of native plants to reduce puddling and to reduce the runoff into our Arcadia Wash. This, in the previous photos that I showed, or the diagrams, north was at the top. For some reason, the orientation of these, north is at the left in the next few documents. So just so that you can orient you. This is, here is the Arcadia Wash, in this case, running down this way. And this area here was usually the only thing you saw there were wheelies done by people driving their cars around in a circle and causing just a lot of dust and all. And so that was an area that we focused on for improving the vegetation and reducing the increasing water harvesting and reducing the runoff into the wash. And this is the list of goals that were developed by the architect, but they're very much along the lines of what Brad has been talking about, taking a problem and making an asset, reducing erosion and runoff, enhancing existing ground cover, and then reducing pollutants flowing into the washes. And this is what the first project we've done in this area, what it looked like when it was under construction. Remember with the north at the left, those blue areas are the runoff from the streets, and the wide arrow near the planted, or the park area, the construction area, is a inlet to let the water off the streets go into this area. And then that's what it looked like in 2008 under construction. And from a side view, the native plant Oasis looks something like this. In 2010, the vegetation is much more increase than right now. Here's what it looks like currently, and you can see, compare this area here that was barren, completely barren, now has native vegetation growing in it, and the water, it's fed by water coming from the street on this side. There's still some problems. There's still too much flooding on the west side of this area, which is at the bottom of this project area, and there's still some flooding coming from the Williams Center and from the tunnel near the top of Arcadia Wash, as shown here. So we have a program to try to improve this. And here's our plan for expansion of the Oasis in 2016. We'd hoped we might get this started this year, but it's not going to happen this year. And we're looking in this case now with north at the top. So this area in here, this area in here is the area that was developed initially, and there was a blank area over here of just soil exposed, and this is going to be planted now in a similar way to this. And the idea is to hope to reduce the water running off to this area so that it gets less standing water. And some of the material that we excavate from here and making these basins will be used to raise the part of the walking path through here and thereby reduce the frequency or the extent of the areas that are flooded and have mosquitoes growing in them. So this is something that we'll be working on. Here's the Arcadia Wash, and this is the general drainage from this area. It comes down here and then into the wash. So this is what you usually look for in all talks, the end.